Welcome back, awesome Astro fans and subscribers. I'm very excited to have here another Fortnite Turbo Builder set with Fable and Dire. This set looks really cool. I've been after it for a little while because I really want these figures. In fact, I do have a loose spare Dire and a loose spare Fable, and I've done a bit of mods on her, which I'll show in a moment, but I haven't opened him or touched him yet, so let's get this open and have a look what this set's like. Have a look at the figures. Bit of materials, not so much, because I don't think there's anything new there that we haven't seen before in my previous review or someone else's review. Instructions. Alright, oh, hello. It's got Dire and Fable on the instructions. Anything about them there? Let's have a look. Oh, just contents. Oh, they've got new connector pieces. These are new. And the ramp pieces are new, it would appear, but I can't see how the connectors work at the moment unless I'm missing that. Okay, I see now. So connected pieces are to make 90-degree angles. We know about the connected pieces anyway, so I'm a bit confused as to why they have them. Oh, well, maybe it has another purpose or connects slightly differently. I'm not going to read that in any great detail now. So these are the connector pieces, of which I can see one. So no idea where the rest are. Then we have these sort of pieces here with ramp pieces. Another set of instructions. Is the same or different? Just standard instructions. We have more building materials here too. Never have enough of these building materials. A lot more again here. And though underneath there is the rest of the connecting materials, the connectors. So that's quite a few of these we've got on here. Then more again, which I'll take out later. Just an example of how the ramp works. It's the longer piece. Right, let's look at our figures and move that away and accessories. So we have Fable, who looks absolutely amazing. And there is a rocket launcher. There is appears to be a silenced pistol. And an axe for her. Then we have Dire, who looks phenomenal as well. Looks better than Fable, I think, actually. And he has this like spatula and what's this, cooking spork or tong or something. And the other building materials I'll just leave in there for now. They're not needed for this review. And I'll just move these slightly to one side. Okay, so let's look at the figures. I'm going to look at Fable first. Looks amazing. She's got this nice red hood, which my loose one, which is here, didn't come with. Great figure, really nice looking. It's really got a really nice, that sort of fantasy old world feel to it. So it'll be great for your boss fights. So you may want to repaint the face to make it look a bit more realistic, less cartoony, or maybe swap the head over. Torn sleeve one side, cool. The hood does come off, so if I take out my loose one, I'll show you how about the hood. And looking on her, there's nowhere for the hood to connect, so I'm assuming it's the same with this one. Is it just, yeah, just a loose hood. But this does have a little peg, you can see there. Can you see that peg just here? There, you see it there. That'll connect underneath her head at the back, so it stays in place. So articulation, she has a left and a right. She gets she should get an up. There we go. And she doesn't really, she gets a little down, not a lot. Shoulders, really good on the right and on the left. Over the 180, over 90 degrees each. Biceps, let's have a look. Quite stiff, I don't want to break that. There we go. Very poor on the right and very poor on the left. So I will probably be shaving those arms down at a later date to give her better articulation. She has trunk, but it stops, doesn't go very far because of the sculpt. So it goes backwards, side to side barely. She can turn, and the waist can turn just, but her knife gets in the way. Legs don't go out because of the fish and the skirt. Forwards, backwards, not very far. Double knee joint, gets over 90 degrees on the legs. Gets a decent tippy toe. Her dorsal flexation, her Michael Jackson, looks to be pretty good. Let's have a look. Yeah, not great, but it's better than a lot of figures. There is a thigh twist. There's no ankle twist. It just swivels side to side. Now, what I've done on my spare one is that I have cut out a slit in her dress, both sides, and now at least her legs can go outwards. However, to go forwards and backwards, I'd have to do the same again. And then that would look a bit silly, like she's wearing strips of cloth, not an actual dress, you know. She is wearing thigh-high boots and panties if you take her apart. So you may want to keep that in mind if you're going to be customizing. But, you know, I also, when I did the cut, I also took off this fur thing, actually shaved it off and cut the other part out so I could get that slit in there. So at least her legs can go outwards now. She looks really good. The face is a bit too cartoony for my liking, but that's just the painting, not the actual sculpt. But at least now her legs can go decently out to the sides. Whereas in this one, it's like, yeah, you're not going anywhere because of the skirt. So it's a very simple mod, very simple customization, but it does give good benefits for the articulation. Forwards, I guess I could cut a slit there, and that would make it easier for the forwards. But again, it's gonna, that's what she gets now with a slit on the side, which is not too bad if I compare to the uncut one. And both sort of upright. There's a much better angle on this one here. Really nice figure. I love the sculpt. If you've got Planet Green Valley, and I'll put a link to a figure up there, you may be able to fit some of their dresses over. Not sure if they're longer or shorter. They're softer. They're more pliable, so that would be easier to bend and maybe pose. Great figure. Okay, so this big axe is supposed to be hers, as far as I know. Oh, hello. I've just realised that maybe I bent her arm the wrong way for the bicep curl. Let's have a look. Okay, so the right arm's pretty decent, but the left arm doesn't matter if I bend it this way or bend it that way, unless I, there we go. If I really change the position, I can get a slightly better angle. So the right arm's pretty good, nearly about 90. Left arm, I will still be tempted to shave a little bit off just to get a better angle on that. Okay, so her axe, let's have a look. It's quite a thick handle for her little hands. In fact, that would be better suited in Dire, judging by his hands. So I'm not going to put it in her hands. Rock launcher we've seen before. I don't remember seeing it in gold though. This one she should hold okay. Yeah, very nice. And the pistol, handle's not too big even, so it should grip again very nicely in her hands. Though the angle's a bit down, still okay. Okay, let's look at Dire, and again with him I do have a loose one here. I really like the look of him. He looks just amazing. You know, the fact that they've painted a teeth, or you know, the actual white colour separate, and he got the black lining inside, and really makes him pop out and look awesome. If you're after a werewolf, he's a good base. You may want to repaint the head a little bit, or the eyes, because it's still a bit cartoony, but he looks really, really good. Interestingly, his legs they rather than putting a joint in the back like a normal dog's leg, they kept the normal kneecap and they just put a bend in the sculpt. So how easy does he stand? Oh, he leans forward so far. In fact, before I do that, let's look at his articulation. He can go left and right, but I've just noticed that the sculpt on the back on his fur and on his head fur does clash. You may want to cut off a little bit of fur from his head or from his back if you want to get an easier turn. He won't go back, he won't go upwards with his head because of the fur, and he can go downwards a little bit. Jacket comes off. That's not difficult. I'm not sure if I like this bandana around his head. Shoulders, he gets, let's have a look, over 90 on the left and right. Says just over 180, which is good. Biceps, normally not great on Jazwares, but let's see if I'm going to be pleasantly surprised here. Nope. Not surprised, not pleasantly surprised on either side. In fact, that's going to break, I'm pretty sure. That joint is not looking particularly happy. The joint on his right arm, I think let me have a look at this one here. Yeah, on this one that came in the box set, I'm not sure you can see it on camera. It's a bit damaged. It's not broken, but it's a bit damaged. Let's have a look on this one. So he gets not bad actually on his right hand. On his left hand, actually not as bad as I thought. That's almost 90 degrees on both sides. But this one's damaged. I'm going to have to use a knife to cut. So he has the same trunk which can turn forwards, backwards, a little bit side to side. His waist can turn. He's got nunchucks, just realised. His legs go not really to 90 degrees, unfortunately. He has a double kneecap, but the sculpt only allows him to go like this. And his feet, he gets a tippy toe or tippy paw. Bum, 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 bum. And then his dorsal flexation is phenomenal. I mean, look at that. That's really good. He has a thigh twist. His feet just swivel like this. And both him and Fable have wrist articulation like this on both sides. Though it looks really stiff on him. Let's have a look. Oh, that's really stiff. Have a look on this one. Maybe it's loose on this one here. Yeah. So both sides they have that articulation. Really nice looking figure. How easy to stand though? Because these legs bend backwards, you have to get his feet rather to, there we go, to balance him so he stands up. Let's see how tall he is compared to Fable. He is, yeah, he's a touch taller, but he does look really good the way he's looking down at that head. That is a really nice sculpt and paint job on the head there. I really like this set a lot. Well worth picking up. So let me try him with the axe. Since his hands are wider apart than Fable's, it should be easier to force. God, that's a really big axe. Force into his hands. this handle is so wide and it doesn't taper at the bottom, it gets fatter, which means you can't just slide it in easily. There we go, but you can do it. Holds that particularly well. It's a nice looking axe. It means I've got 2 of those. We've got another one that came with a loose. And then there's the spatula, which is thinner, which he can hold, or Fable can hold. Holds it nice, and he's cooking tong, I guess, or fork. There we go. He is a fantastic looking figure. I really like him a lot. The fact that jacket comes off is great. But as I said, I would be tempted to shave off this spike here, or the bottom of his hair there, so he can get his head back further and he can turn left and right when his head is straight without it interfering. I'm really glad. I'm really glad I managed to pick up this spare loose Dire and this spare loose Fable. Maybe I will cut the center here so she gets more forwards backwards articulation than she currently has. I mean, she's got some, but not compared to like other figures. But the side is good enough. Doesn't need any more than that, you know. That's fine. Just by cutting a triangle shape. I didn't cut a slit. I didn't just put a slit. I did a proper triangle shape in both sides. I cut out so she gets that articulation. Very, very nice figures. Great job by Jazwares again. The only issue they seem to have these days is that the bicep bends aren't always great. And often they put sculpt above articulation. So you get this really nice looking figure, but then you can't bend its legs or you can't bend its ankles or something else gets in the way. But I'm happy about that because I can still change it with a craft knife. Or if you go onto something like eBay or Taobao, you can search for, is it Rebel Tech joints, and get a little bag of joints, which they are random, and you can use to add articulation if you want. Fantastic set, definitely worth picking up. I do recommend this. Let me pop her hood onto the one I cut before I close out. In fact, there's a little hole in the back of her neck there, which this peg can fit in, not under her head like I originally said. But then she can't really look left and right. Amazing set, well worth picking up, particularly with your Boss Fight Studios and your fantasy stuff. I do like this set a lot. I mean a lot. I love my fantasy stuff and my sci-fi stuff. Okay, this is Awesome Action Toys. I am signing out saying please like, share and subscribe. I'll be back to do more Awesome Action Toy videos for you. Stay happy, keep collecting. Bye-bye.